Hello, I'm Finnegan Corcoran-Doolin, and I'm here with...
Hey, I'm Mason Lockowitz. This is my roommate.
I'm Adam Whitman. We're both athletes on Marist Men's Rowing Division I teams.
Great. All right, so when did you start rowing?
So I uniquely walked onto the team here at Marist. I didn't have any previous experience rowing before college, and then I was always an athlete throughout high school. I played a couple different varsity sports. Got to college, saw the flyer, and thought it would be a great opportunity.
All right, great. When did you start rowing?
I actually started my freshman year of high school. My brother was a coxswain on his high school rowing team, and he kind of just brought me to practice because I needed to ride to schools. So I just got into it through that, and I haven't stopped since.
Perfect. So what made you get into rowing then?
I was kind of lost coming into college. I didn't really have a huge brotherhood or connections here yet, and I didn't want to give up athletics. Obviously, it was a huge part of my life. And then when that stopped, I was kind of looking for something new, and a couple guys on my floor were on the crew team, and Adam included, and I saw the opportunity and tried out, and then really fell in love with all of the fellows on the team, and never looked back.
Great. What about you?
One of the sophomores at the time when I was coming into college, or freshman going into sophomore year, I guess. He reached out to me, invited me to try out, walk onto the team. And actually, when I moved in on the first day, there was a few guys on the floor that the recruits they just bombarded me as I was moving in, and welcomed me and asked me to come out to walk on days. So I kind of just
Fantastic.
went with the flow there.
Great. What's been your most significant switch since becoming a D1 athlete?
It's a huge time commitment. You're up
For sure.
early every single morning. I rode all 4 seasons. I rode through the summer with a teammate that I met who was local to me. It's kind of twice a day, 6 days a week. So, and even what you do when you're not practicing matters a ton. So what you eat, and obviously sleep, and getting up early in the morning. So it definitely kept me disciplined throughout college, and I like the discipline that it gave me.
All right, great. What about you?
I was actually used to the double practices, the early wake-ups and everything. But something about it with the rigorous course schedule, it's a lot different than having your set time to school being 8:20 to 2:35 or something like that. So that was actually a big shift where I was all right, well, I have to plan classes in the afternoon, and I also have to get this workout in, and staying fueled throughout the day. And being tired, it's just you got to make sure you're recovering, and I don't know, being mindful of everything that goes into rowing.
Yeah, makes sense. What's the biggest struggles in rowing?
I think he just hit on some of them. Outside of the sport, obviously, the sport itself is pretty intense. It's very cardio demanding. It's one of those strange sports where it's muscularly taxing, and it's a cardio sport. So the sport itself is intense, and that learning curve took a little bit for me, but I started to figure it out. But again, outside of crew is probably some of the hardest things that we deal with. Getting to bed early, dealing with classes in college life, and balancing work. Having a job and everything. It can be a lot sometimes.
Yeah, fair enough. How do you stay motivated to row every morning?
Ultimately, motivation has to come from within, right?
Yeah, for sure.
What he was saying, you need to have faith in your other guys.
Yeah.
To work just as hard as you're working, and that also goes for working out other times. We have other practices throughout the day which are on your own, or lifts, and
yeah, totally.
Yeah, so coaches help motivate as much as they can.
Yeah.
We have coxswain motivation, but I'd say the most important motivation has to be yourself and the desire to win.
I think the most motivation happens in the morning when we wake up.
Yeah.
It's just when you're getting up together, it's a lot easier than getting up if you're just alone.
Yeah.
That makes
sense.
when you hold each other accountable.
Yeah.
For like that's like the biggest thing. Accountability is like great in
Yeah.
rowing.
The last question is on the student side. How hard is it to keep up with the schoolwork and be obviously like a D1 athlete?
Luckily Marist does provide some support for athletes.
Oh, great.
I know Adam has used Alyssa Gate frequently, and there are tutoring options as well.
Mhm.
But it's definitely difficult, like staying motivated throughout the day, especially when you're very tired. And there's ups and downs to everything, but
Mhm.
sometimes like if I've actually found like if you wake up early, you have a productive morning, you go to practice, you have a good practice, you go home, you eat breakfast, you're able to like go to class because you're already awake. I feel like those struggles of getting up in the morning happens with everybody, regardless if you're an athlete. So I think getting up early, getting sun on you, sometimes it can actually motivate you to do well in like those early classes.
Great. All right.
T said it.
Yeah,
Thank you so much, and thank you to you guys.
of course.
Thank
All right,
you.
great.